All right, what's up everyone? So for this section of our tech news recap, today we're going to be looking into a very important move by one of the world's tech leaders, and that is Samsung. So Samsung has actually decided to launch their own Discord server, and they've publicly stated their full-on direction for heading into Web3 and the metaverse. Let's look into it. So the first thing that we'll talk about is what is Discord and how have they actually established themselves as an industry leader within gaming communication and Web3 kind of communities communication. So where does the Discord story begin? Well, it begins with a game designer called Jason Citrin, who actually wanted to create games himself. In fact, he actually found large successes and actually sold a few of his own games early in the days. But when he was actually trying to set up his own game design studio, he realized that it was really difficult to kind of discuss kind of gaming strategies and projects with other people. Now, at that time, the best kind of technology that you would have for this is applications like Skype and TeamSpeak. Now, the problem with these technologies was that they were really bulky and they never actually had all the features that a typical gamer would want. The other problem is that a lot of the features that you could access in these applications were paid, and that provided a very tough barrier to break, especially when people simply just wanted to chat with their friends while playing games. And so Jason Citrin and his co-founder set out to create an alternative competitor to things like Skype and TeamSpeak with Discord. Now, the very important thing about Discord was this emphasis that they actually placed on the idea of communities. So at first, an application that just started out with friends gathering to play games with each other became a way for people to actually gather to kind of share like-minded ideas with each other. This kind of snowballed into separate and distinct communities, just like you would see with things like subreddits on Reddit. Discord actually also has a fantastic number of ways to kind of manage communities as well. They have different automated bots that allow them to maybe verify spam accounts and verify real people. They have different bots to kind of notify each other on who were administrators and who were part of the core members of some kind of community. They simply just had a lot of different options to make joining a community as easy and seamless as possible. And that was their trump card. And thus, fast forward into 2019 and 2020, that's kind of where the Web3 boom really begins. And as we know, with a lot of different Web3 projects, whether it's creating a cryptocurrency or whether it's creating some kind of decentralized application, community is really at the forefront of all of these projects. The reason why this is so important is because all these kind of technologies that we're talking about in Web3 are extremely novel. These are innovations that are being created on an everyday basis, things that have not been seen before. And that's kind of why you need a general population to believe in one thing. So the idea that Discord can actually create a space for like-minded individuals to believe in this one thing, that's kind of why Discord became the de facto place to actually create this sense of community and a sense of belonging. So back to the topic at hand, and that's where Samsung has decided to launch their own Discord community. And this actually means a few different things. First of all, Samsung being the leader of the smartphone industry really means a big deal whenever they make any kind of decision when it comes to tech. When market leaders move, we must pay attention. So on their own website, Samsung has basically said that with their Discord launch and with their Discord server, they are fully moving into the space of Web3 and the metaverse. You probably also have realized that the words of metaverse and Web3 are kind of debated upon topics within the whole tech space. A lot of people believe that this is a yet to be defined concept, which is actually simply just running off of pure hype. For example, companies as large as Apple and Tim Cook have publicly stated that they don't really believe in the metaverse because we simply can't define it. On the other hand, companies like Meta and Mark Zuckerberg have simply stated that the metaverse is the future. We have a wide range of opinions of exactly what the metaverse is and whether it's the actual future or not. So when a company as large and as influential as Samsung publicly states their advocacy for Web3 in the metaverse, them launching their own Discord server is the first of many steps to realizing this company direction. In fact, within the first 12 hours of them launching their server, they managed to register over 100,000 different users onto their community. This is quite an interesting kind of tactic, bearing in mind that they have also entered the Web3 sphere by actually hosting one of their virtual events in Decentraland. So it does seem like Samsung is taking a rather cautious approach. It does seem like they're waiting for their competitors to make their moves before really diving into what their actual Web3 and metaverse strategy is. This is in rather stark contrast to a lot of other companies which were kind of carried away by the hype last year when they really dived headfirst into the whole NFT space. And so the final kind of question to kind of explore is whether Web3 really is the future of the internet. Obviously, there is always some general level of skepticism when we look into new technologies such as blockchain, Web3, metaverse, cryptocurrencies, and NFTs. But the internet also did face the same kind of skepticism just when it started out. But when a company as big and as reputable as Samsung makes its move, then we should listen. Now, whether Discord continues to be the main way to engage communities and create extra channels of communication, that's something that we do need to kind of consider. Are there other applications or startups waiting to be discovered that will create an even heightened sense of engagement and community? Perhaps those are the ones which will ultimately prevail in the world of Web3.